Hello, guys. Welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and today I have a review of a film from Israel entitled Big Bad Wolves. Yeah, I believe that this is the very first film I've ever seen from Israel. I can't think of any other film at all I've seen from Israel. And I didn't even know there was a film seen in Israel, let alone, But yeah, this film's been getting quite a bit of buzz here lately. I've heard quite a few people talking about it and mentioning it. So yeah, I've been pretty anxious to check it out. And, this comes from, I'm totally going to slaughter these names. It was written, directed by a team. I guess we would say Aaron Cashels and Navo Papachado, Papashango, no, Papachado. I know I'm totally pronouncing this wrong, but it's a duo, and I guess their first movie's called Rabies, and it came out like a couple years ago, 2010, I believe. But I haven't seen that film. So I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really know anything about these directors going into this, but the premise is very cool. It's about this guy who is suspected of being a child killer, a pedophile. So the cops get him and they beat his ass, and because of that, something happens and he ends up getting out. Another little girl, ends up being found dead. That girl's father wants revenge on this killer, so he goes after the killer. And also, in the meantime, one of the original cops that was beating this guy's ass, he's going after this pedophile too, to try to bring him to justice, and also to try to save their own ass, because they know if they don't find out more information or find out more evidence against this guy, it's going to cost all of them their job. So, you know, you got the pedophile, you've got the revengeful dad, and you've got the police guy, the police lieutenant, trying to clear his name. And all three end up clashing. All three worlds end up clashing together in this, and just all hell breaks loose from there. That's pretty much your synopsis and your layout of the story without giving too much more away. And like I said, that's not spoiling anything. I mean that that pretty much tells you that same thing. A synopsis on the back, the trailer will show things like that. So I'm not really spoiling anything there. But guys, you see right here, Quentin Tarantino said best film of the year. And his name has some significance with this, because I really do think that this film, it felt like a Quentin Tarantino slash Coen Brothers style film. It's really hard to pinpoint one genre in this. You could say there's definitely the black humor, so you could say comedy, you can say drama, a crime drama, thriller, but ultimately, I would classify this film exactly how the filmmakers do in the making of special feature. I would classify it as a horror film. I mean, yeah, some people's not gonna do that when they watch this, but to me, it was a horror film. I mean, the subject matter and the way the story unfolds and the way it ends, I should say. I mean, to me, this is a horror film, and I gotta say, guys, for it being the first Israeli film I've ever seen, especially from these directors, I was really amazed by this film. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of this film. It just was a full package of a movie to me. It kept me engrossed the entire time. I was never ever bored with it. It had great acting, just all around. There's it's mainly focuses around those three actors. I mean, there's more in there, but the main focus is around those three main actors I told you about, and they all three are just phenomenal. Especially the pedophile and the revengeful dad. I mean, they're both those characters are just awesome. The revengeful dad, he's off his rocker, man. I mean, there's no doubt about that. When you see this guy, he's trying to figure out what happened to his daughter, and trying to get revenge for his daughter, but you can tell it's just made him unhinged. It's he's lost his mind because of it, and he's almost just as crazy as the killer, the person he's trying to figure out who killed his daughter, where his daughter's at, and all this shit. He's just as crazy. But you know, the acting is just awesome. The score really just complemented the entire film. The score works throughout this. I thought it was really, really good. Um, all the pace to this was really good. The dialogue was awesome. Now, this is subtitled. I know that's going to discourage some people from watching it, but it is in Hebrew and it's subtitled in English, which I don't mind that at all. You know, there's so many great films that I would have never seen if I'd minded subtitles. You know, I totally understand if you don't, but man, there's just so many great films out there that are subtitled, and this is definitely one of them. So yeah, it is subtitled. Now, you know, one downside of this is it was kind of predictable. You know, I mean, most of the stuff that I saw, I could see coming in this film, and there's some things that happen with the plot, and it's like, okay, I pretty much guessed that's what was going to happen, but it was entertaining enough. Like I said, the acting was great. The pacing was really good. Everything worked enough to where it kept me going. And with it being predictable, it didn't really matter to me. It was like a good type of predictable where, you know, it's something that you can see coming, but you want to see it happen too at the same time. You know, so yeah, for me, I didn't mind the predictability of it. It didn't take away from it. And there's a lot of wit and charm to this film that really, I think, also made it work for that reason, you know. And I mean, look at that cover. I think that cover is really awesome. It's a simple cover, but it stands out, you know. I mean, if you have this on the shelf, that stands out, I think. I really like it, and it speaks for the film too, because the film, I think, you know, is very representative of the film, and just being its own thing, you know. But yeah, guys, really good film, and for me, honestly, this is the horror film of the year so far for me. I'm going to take it that far. I mean, you know, I don't want to overhype it for anybody. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not going to lie. It's predictable. Some people might not like that. Some people might watch this and be like, that's not a horror film at all. It's complete crime drama. I mean, I can understand those arguments, but to me, it is the best film of the year so far, and it is a horror film. I just really enjoyed it, guys. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I highly recommend checking it out. You know, it's an awesome watch, and I have a feeling it'd be the type of film that's going to be even better watching it a second time. It's one that I will definitely revisit, and probably soon. And now I want to check out the director's first film, Rabies, which, you know, Headbanger Over Horror's Balls has praised that film and mentioned that too. So, you know, I want to check that out. But yeah, it's 110 minutes long, so it's almost 2 hours long. It doesn't feel that long at all. I mean, it just goes by quickly because it's so engrossing. But yeah, I mean, you can get this anywhere now, guys. I mean, I've seen Walmart has it. You know, it's online. I've seen people picking it up, had it online. Yeah, so it's not hard to find at all. But yeah, so I guess that's it. I guess I'll quit rambling. But also, I gotta say real quick too, all the effects in this are practical. There's one spot I saw that was CG, but it still worked, and it was so small it didn't matter to me. But everything in it's practical, which is awesome, you know, and not real gory, but there is some gory moments. There is some blood splatter, and it's all practical, all real. So that's a plus too in this film. I know some of you watching this would want to know that stuff, and it is all practical. So that's awesome. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is Big Bad Wolves. Check it out now, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Have a good one. Later.